Hello, my loves. Hi. Today I want to talk to you about manifesting by allowing. And this is the basis of all manifesting, but the thing that most people can't even come to terms with. So I'll start with a story, which is that we were living with, I can't remember at that point, something like 15 kids in a very small, ramshackle community building. And my dear friend Ray came and said, "Spirit, you have to find a different house." And I had no idea how we were going to do that. And so he went looking for houses for us. And finally he found the most magnificent house you could possibly imagine. I can't remember, but it was like 5,000 square feet. And it had, I think it was like 11 bedrooms, and it was just everything that we could possibly want, except that we didn't have the money. And so we did everything possible to make that happen. We had circles where we talked about how our lives would be different if we lived in that house, and how we could serve the community and take care of other kids who didn't have homes, and have a place where families could come to learn how to take good care of their kids. We did all that. We wrote affirmations and spoke them out loud, and then pasted them on the walls all over current, what you would call a home. And every day we and the kids would get up and do these grand affirmations of, "I deserve this home, and of course this home is coming to us," and you know, the whole big deal. And we also went to the ocean, and we would draw the address in the sand, and then we would wait until the tide came in and washed away and took the address with it. And we were assuming, pretending, whatever, that meant that the universe was taking that house and saving it for us. And it didn't happen. And of course, Ray was trying to raise money, and our friends were trying to raise money, but this was a huge amount. And it was in, I think, maybe 1985 or so, 88. Anyway, so I was thinking, should I just give up on having this house? Because I didn't want anybody to go into debt or it to be a problem for anybody. And we did the manifestations from the belly. Wouldn't it feel good to eat breakfast in this room where we could look out on the mountains? It was so cool. Anyway, it didn't happen. And then one morning I woke up and I was just laughing. And I was laughing because I realized that God was not needing convincing. In other words, I didn't need to pray and convince God that this house would be good for us. Instead, I realized that God was trying to convince us to accept this house. And I just laughed until I cried. It was backwards of the reality that we all understood. So I called a circle and I said to the kids, "Okay, we're giving up on that house that we all want so much. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into your rooms and rip the affirmations off the walls and bring them into the fireplace, and we'll burn them." So we did that, and then did a circle where we said, what would God want most for us in terms of why would God be trying to convince us to accept this house? How would it be good for the world? So we all talked about that and did our prayers. And finally, we just said, okay, we give up. We have no idea what's the right thing to do. And of course, that afternoon, a woman we had never met, but she had seen us on, I think, TV. She called up and she said, "I just inherited, I can't remember, like $7 million or something astronomical." She said, and I want to help you make the down payment on this house. So within a month, we were in that new house. And if you've seen the documentary that NBC made of our family, it was filmed in that new house. So allow, don't try, don't effort, don't make something happen, don't convince, surrender. Allow what love wanted to give you from the very beginning. Thank you.